As I begin my report, I wanted to acknowledge that this is the first time this body has met since we lost two of our members in a crash just miles from where we gather today. We mourn the loss of our brothers, Captain Jonathan Campos and Honorary Captain Sam Lilly, the first officer on PSA Flight 5342. As we rebuild from this tragedy, we have renewed purpose as the foremost aviation safety experts in the US, Canada, and the world. This was the first time we lost an on-duty, US-based ALPA members in an accident in 16 years. That fact is both a tragedy and a testament to what ALPA pilots have accomplished to make our industry safer in our 9 decades of advocacy, but there will always be more we can and must do to prevent similar tragedies. Today, tomorrow, and always, ALPA pilots will use our knowledge as the hands-on experts to make aviation safer and more secure, just as we have throughout our history. The same levels of unity and support were present again a few weeks later in Toronto when Endeavour Flight 4819 overturned while landing. Thankfully, there were no fatalities, but we are working to understand what happened as technical advisors to the Transportation Safety Board of Canada through the investigation, while at the same time supporting our members. As the crew walked away from that accident, our work was just beginning to support them through a storm of speculation about their actions. Working with Delta and the Transportation Safety Board of Canada, ALPA pushed back against baseless accusations, setting the record straight and reminding the world that all airline pilots in the United States, regardless of background, are held to the same high experience and training standards. As we all know, there are no shortcuts to safety. We know because together we fought hard to enact and defend those standards in the US, and any claim to the contrary undermines the advocacy and careers we have all worked so hard to build. To Kurt, Chris, and the rest of the PSA pilot group, Jade, the Endeavour pilot group, our accident investigators, and everyone affected by these accidents, we are here for you. Wendy, our CHIRP volunteers, the American wholly owned MECs in the PSA tragedy, Claude, the Jazz MEC, and those who supported the Endeavour accident, and everyone who has supported the response to these accidents. Thank you for stepping up for your union family. We all rallied together and showed that even in our darkest days, ALPA's strength and unity will always shine through. In addition to these accidents, we are also facing a wave of unprecedented change here in Washington, Ottawa, and around the world. A trade war has broken out, and we are facing massive uncertainty as the economic outlook seems to change minute to minute. These forces are affecting how we must plan and how our industry must operate. This is having a real impact on all of our members in both the US and Canada, but we remain a united international union working to support all our members, no matter what. We are actively engaging at every level to advocate for our pilots in both the US and Canada. We are keeping a close eye on how these changes will affect revenue and the economic outlook for our airlines. And I've asked our economic and financial analysis team to brief us this week on the current state of the economy and industry, so you have the latest information that we have. These are uncertain times, and we will need to be nimble and attentive to protect the interests of our members. Thankfully, we have built the right team for the job. We have a great team of pilot volunteers and professional staff working diligently on your behalf to prepare for the worst while creating the best outcomes for our members and our industry. Through this uncertainty and these accidents, ALPA is ready and proud to support our members. Accidents are a tragic means to reveal gaps in the aviation safety net. But as the largest non-governmental safety organization in the world, we have the power and the resources to be proactive in identifying and closing these gaps and defending safety standards that we have fought so hard to put in place. It's reasonable to ask, after 15 years without an accident like this, would we be ready? I'm proud to tell you, in no uncertain terms, that ALPA absolutely was ready. Our ASO structure, processes, and people were ready. I'd like to give a big shout out and thanks to everyone that was involved, especially Stacy and the Engineering and Air Safety team, and Wendy as the National Safety Coordinator for her leadership and ensuring that safety folks had the resources they need when they needed them. It is with this mission for safety and our commitment to prevent another tragedy that during this administration, ALPA has been committed to using our role as aviation and labor leaders to stop the growing threat of single pilot and reduced crew operations. From the start, this was never a battle we could win alone. Our voices are always stronger when we unite them into one. That is the core purpose of a union and the core philosophy we are building during this administration. We are stronger when we work together. In the spirit of collaboration, ALPA has reestablished itself with the global labor and aviation communities. Last month, we took a big stride in committing to being leaders in the international pilot labor movement with the election of Captain Ron Hay as the president of the International Federation of Airline Pilots Associations. ALPA members now hold 9 leadership positions at ALPA. Some may ask, why do we put so many resources into ALPA? Our support of and leadership in ALPA is essential. ALPA is our voice at ICAO, and we are ensuring that ALPA priorities carry the day in that advocacy. Our international partnership with the European Cockpit Association and ALPA has been fundamental to our successes in slowing the tide of single pilot and reduced crew operations. Before we rededicated ourselves to our relationship with ALPA and ECA and launched the Safety Starts With Two campaign to combat RCO, Airbus was predicting RCO-capable aircraft be able in operations as early as next year with a fast-tracked regulatory approval. Now, even the European Union Aviation Safety Agency is slowing down their plans to change rules that would allow Airbus's schemes to remove pilots from the flight deck and announce they are focused on systems that will supplement human pilots, not replace them. With this in mind, I'll be meeting the EASA Director, Florian Gourmet, next month to discuss RCO issues at the FAA-EASA Safety Summit. My message is clear. ALPA will not let up. We will keep the pressure on until Airbus abandons their quest for single pilot crews. While these are positive developments, our fight is far from over. We are taking steps in the right direction in our campaign to prevent reduced crew operations, but we still have work to do. We will continue forging connections with government decision makers and our allies ahead of the ICAO assembly this fall, when we expect RCO to be a hot topic. Aviation safety does not just affect pilots. It is the backbone of our entire industry. Through our reaffiliation with the International Transport Workers Federation, we have amassed an expanded network of labor allies who oppose RCO, using the ITF's significant influence to raise awareness and support on the global stage. While airlines should compete on routes and services, it is up to us to make sure they never compete by reducing safety and security for business interests. We must always be vigilant and ready to act, especially as we experience government transitions in Washington and Ottawa. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The last few months in Washington have been head-spinning and disconcerting, given the potential impacts on our industry. We are all working hard to make sure that our members' interests are protected and that safety is not impacted. Times like these can create tension, and I know that it has on both sides of the border. Through market uncertainty and changes to the way the government operates, ALPA is working to defend our members, the piloting profession, and the safety of the NAS. Our strategy remains driven by threats to safety and workers' rights, opportunities for advancement, and the priorities of our members, which is informed by polling we took to hear directly from our members. We were dealt a blow when just days into the new administration, the DOT approved SkyWest Charter's application to operate scheduled service in small communities in RJs under Part 135 and 380, swapping SkyWest's safer Part 121 service to the same places. We had made great progress lobbying the previous administration and Secretary of Transportation to get their support to close this loophole, but now we must start again and work to explain our safety case to the new administration. Since the day this new administration and Congress took office, ALPA began working to build relationships with the new leaders. I've personally had meetings with Secretary of Transportation Sean Duffy, Acting FAA Administrator Chris Rocheleau, the House Transportation Chair and Ranking Member, Speaker Johnson, leaders Scalise and Jeffries, and many members of the Senate Commerce Committee. Along with our district advocates and professional government affairs staff, we are leaving no stone unturned to solidify and fulfill ALPA's duty, again, as the hands-on experts in ensuring safe and secure aviation operations. Our advocacy, education, and relationship building paid off last month when the FAA announced that they are withdrawing their plans to issue denial letters instead of deferments when additional information is required for medical certification decisions. When this plan was first announced, I wrote our membership that ALPA would fight this proposal with everything we had. We can certainly count this as one in the win column, and a huge amount of credit goes to the pilot volunteers and staff who worked hard to get the FAA to see the pilot's perspective and stop this proposal, as well as former Administrator Whitaker and Acting Administrator Rocheleau, who both took the time to meet and engage with me personally on this important issue. Even this early in the new Congress, we have worked with our allies to advance policy priorities through supporting legislation that would improve how mental health is handled in aviation, strengthen protections for airline workers in the event of airlines facing bankruptcy, and join the Aviation Safety Conference and Representative Nick Langworthy in introducing a bill to address security concerns with the exploitation of the public charter loophole. We are also pushing for ALPA priorities in the annual appropriations process, including more funding for FFDO program, HIMSS, pilot mental health, and preventing RCO. As Congress and the administration officials work to introduce a plan to modernize our air traffic control system, we are coordinating closely with the DOT, congressional leaders, and other industry stakeholders to lay out our priorities and ensure that there is a plan that we can support. To that end, I will join Secretary Duffy tomorrow afternoon to announce the administration's rollout. With all the proposed cuts and adjustments to federal agencies and the workforce, we are monitoring and engaging with the rest of the labor community to ensure the rights of workers are not infringed, aviation safety and security are not affected, and the rights of unions are not undermined. At the same time, we are working just as hard to advocate for the rights and safety of our Canadian members. Tim will detail all of this in his report, but I do want to give a shout out to the hard work and success of our team up there in fighting back against WestJet's proposal to hire temporary foreign workers instead of qualified Canadian pilots. I was proud to support Tim and the team up there as they launched a great campaign and got WestJet to back down from that proposal. We will continue to stand with you as you fight the special interests attempting to water down Canadian flight time rules. Our priorities and philosophies and how we advocate for the aviation safety and worker rights are equally reflected in how we represent our members and approach our internal operations. We are focused on collaborating, being proactive, and setting up the next generation for success. Today, we have 15 pilot groups in negotiations. That's nearly 20,000 ALPA pilots bargaining under the RLA and CLC. And we are always learning from the successes and challenges of other groups that secured contracts before them. When I began my term, I made it clear to Ronan O'Donoghue that as chair of the SPSC, the committee could do whatever it takes to assist in winning strong contracts for our members. Through crew room visits, picketing, deploying mobile billboards, coordinated social media campaigns, and even influencer marketing, we are constantly exploring new ways to unite our pilots and make it clear to management that we will be a force to be reckoned with at the bargaining table. It's well past time for the management at airlines like FedEx and ATI, who have been in negotiations more than 4 years, to get serious and negotiate contracts for our members that they have earned. It is with the same spirit of collaboration and tenacity that we are approaching a new wave of furloughs at Air Wisconsin, and with pilots still on furlough at Spirit and Mesa. Along with many other ALPA pilots, I was furloughed early in my career. So it is vital to me and all ALPA leaders to make sure that our members have the support that they deserve. Sean will talk more about this work, but to our furloughed members and anyone facing career uncertainty, I want to assure you that ALPA has your back, and you're at the top of mind for us. As we work to strengthen the position of our members through advocacy and negotiations, we must also work to strengthen the way ALPA operates so that we continue to meet the needs of future generations and challenges. In the past 2 months, we signed new 4-year agreements with Unit 1 and Unit 2 of our staff union, securing our financial position with regards to salary and benefits and our position as an employer that respects and cares for our staff. As I mentioned at the BOD in October, there are still a couple of administrative pain points that we need to address. To that end, we recently engaged PwC, a worldwide leading consultant firm, to conduct a top-to-bottom review of our IT processes. You will hear their findings and recommendations on Thursday directly from them, but they laid out over 30 areas of possible improvement and a roadmap on how to achieve many of them. Their review also concluded that we have a passionate and talented staff and are confident we can make significant improvements if we all buy in and make the necessary process improvements. Another issue I mentioned in October is that pilots have been asking for improvements to the process of purchasing swag, like lanyards and bag tags, and fixing that has been a priority for this group. We added new staff positions to facilitate this effort, and we are working on a new work request system that will further streamline the processes so that pilots have a more direct view into their requests and staff have more efficient way to intake and deliver orders. As part of this effort, we are also building a new pilot view to see the status of all active jobs at a given MEC, LEC, or committee. This will offer a visual view of where the job is in the process, as well as details of what still needs to be done, similar to a package delivery tracker. The new WRS will be in initial testing this summer, where pilot groups will begin to test the process. We expect that the full tool will be live by the time this body meets next in October. In addition to strengthening our purchasing and IT systems, we're improving our governing documents to meet the needs of today and tomorrow, and we're focused on building our financial strength while returning the most value to our members, which you will hear more about from Wes. Our approach to improving ALPA revolves around input from our members. At our core, ALPA is a bottom-up organization, and we depend on input from line pilots and local leaders to shape our work and understand the challenges we all face that need to be addressed. During our term, we have also made a point to make national leadership available to our members by engaging in meetings and groups across our union. Continuing to build for our future, ALPA has signed a letter of intent to purchase a new property here at Tyson's Corner that could serve as our new permanent headquarters. The space would allow us room for growth while granting us greater control of our space as the needs of our members and resources available to us change. The process of purchasing commercial property like this isn't easy, but it would be an investment in our future. The good work Wes, the headquarters building committee, and the staff involved have done and will do to try to make this happen could give ALPA a good, stable home for years to come. And if the effort does not succeed, we will certainly find other opportunities. Through our successes both at the negotiating table and being fiscally responsible with our members' dues dollars, we are in the position to offer to return dues this year after doing it for the first time in our history last year. The Executive Council is committed to returning 2024 surplus back to its members, monitoring the uncertainty we are all experiencing right now, but will finalize the amount in July for another August return. Money back in the bank accounts of our members is one of the most tangible ways we exhibit the strength and smarts of our union, but it's just a symptom of the success that we have all built together to ensure our members that ALPA continues to be an excellent return on their investment. We are more than just 42 pilot groups. We are one union that will always be stronger than the sum of our parts. Together, we have built a union that works. And as I close my remarks, I want to acknowledge that others have noticed. Our colleagues at the Allied Pilots Association are also holding a board of directors meeting this week. And on their agenda is a proposal to form a merger committee to join ALPA. If the proposal passes, it would start a process of due diligence and negotiations on both sides for a potential merger. Should we enter into these negotiations, I am committed to making sure that any possible agreement works for both sides. We will keep you posted as this week's results on this proposal. Each time I give a report like this, I reflect on how what I am speaking about is a testament to the hard work and people who make up this great organization. It is our staff, pilot volunteers, and leaders like you that get the job done day in and day out. It is the work we do together as one union that keeps flying safe, defends the rights of workers, and elevates the lives and livelihoods of airline pilots. ALPA makes aviation safe. ALPA makes being a pilot an enviable career, and you make this union stronger together. Thank you.